My beloved sons and daughters, come, draw near to me. I know every detail of what you have been facing, the days when the heart grows weary and hope seems to wane. But now, I want you to pause for a moment, to breathe, and to open your heart to receive what I have to say to you. Because today, at this moment, I am speaking directly to you. This message is special, and if you listen to it until the end, you will find answers you might not have known you were seeking. There is an extraordinary revelation waiting for you, something deep and transformative that can renew your life in a way you never imagined. So, walk with me on this journey of faith. Know that you are not alone. I am by your side, ready to guide you, to strengthen your spirit, and to bring peace to your heart. Throughout this message, you will see that there is light for every doubt and peace for every anguish. Trust and feel welcomed, because what is to come may be the key to the transformation you so desire. If you believe in my words and desire this change in your life, leave this prayer of faith in the comments. Lord, take care of my family and friends, keeping them from danger and bringing peace to all of us. By doing this, you will be taking a step of trust, and by listening to the end, something wonderful will be revealed, something that may be exactly what you need to achieve new peace and purpose. My children, there are times when the road seems dark, when loneliness and fatigue weigh on the spirit, and the struggles of life seem too great. I see your hearts. I know your pains, and every anguish that keeps you awake at night. And even when it seems that all is lost, I am here with open arms, ready to offer you love, hope, and direction. I do not want you to carry these worries alone. You do not need to fight alone against the challenges of this world. Just as I have cared for each child throughout the ages, I am here to care for you. Open your heart, give me your doubts and pains, and see how I can transform everything that seems heavy into something light and restorative. Perhaps at some point you feel weak, questioning whether you have the strength to continue. But I tell you, when you feel weak, that is when my power can manifest. I want you to trust in me, to feel my love, and to know that I never abandon you. If you hear my words and decide to trust in me, you will find the strength you need to overcome any situation, no matter how challenging it may be. Are you ready to discover the peace and love I have to offer you? This journey will be an experience of growth and revelation. My sons and daughters, I want you to understand a fundamental truth. My love for you is immense and unconditional. Each of you was created with purpose and in love. When I say I love you, I say it with the heart of a father who knows every detail of your life. I have loved you from the beginning, and nothing can separate you from this love. This love, which is the foundation of everything, was revealed through Jesus Christ. He gave himself for you, so that you would know what it means to love and be loved unconditionally. He gave his life, so that you might have life in abundance. As it is written in Romans 8:38-39, neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation, will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Remember, my children, that this love is not just a word, it is a living force. I love you so much that I will never let you walk alone. Think of Israel and the prophets. Even when the people strayed and fell, I was always there, ready to welcome them back, ready to guide and lift them up. So is my love for you, unchanging and ever present. And today, I ask that you open your hearts to receive this love. Allow it to heal you, to remove all bitterness and resentment. Love one another as I love you. This love is the foundation of your strength, and when you accept it, it illuminates your entire being. Children and daughters, I want to remind you that the faith you have in me is one of the most powerful pillars of your journey. This faith, which moves mountains and removes obstacles, is a flame that must not be extinguished. No matter how dark the road seems, Faith is the light that will guide you back to the safety of my arms. Look at the life of Abraham. He was called to leave his land and go to an unknown place, and amid uncertainties, he trusted in me. When I promised to make him the father of many nations, he did not question, but believed. His faith was rewarded, and his story became an example of trust. As it is written in Hebrews 11:1, now faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. I know there are times when your faith is tested, and the future seems uncertain. But I tell you, when you trust in me, I am beside you, walking with you every step of the way. My presence is constant, and even when silence seems to prevail, I am working for your good. Therefore, do not be afraid. Even if the winds are strong, trust in me. I have brought you this far, and I will continue to guide you, even in moments of darkness. You do not need to understand everything. Just trust. Give me your worries, and I will give you peace and rest. And by trusting, you will find the strength to face everything, for I will be by your side. Beloved children, never forget the hope I offer you. Even when circumstances seem harsh and everything seems to fall apart, know that there is hope in me. This hope is an anchor for the soul, a certainty that despite the storms, you are not adrift. In the Bible, many of my children faced difficulties, but they were never without hope. Remember Job, who even in the midst of pain and loss, maintained his hope in me. He knew that I was faithful and that I would not abandon him. In the end, Job received a double portion of everything he had lost because he did not give up on trusting. Children, this hope I give you is firm and secure. It gives you the strength to continue, for you know that I have plans of peace and prosperity for each of you. As it is written in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Remember, hope in me is the light that illuminates the darkness. You are not alone. I am here, with a purpose for your lives. Stand firm, and let this hope give you the strength to move forward. Do not give up, for the grace I give you is renewed every day. My children, let us talk about forgiveness, for it is the key to freeing many burdens you carry. Forgiveness is a gift I want to give each of you, a path to peace and healing. When you forgive, you release your souls from the weight of bitterness and pain, allowing my love to flow freely. Do you remember the parable of the prodigal son? A son who, even after squandering everything he received, was forgiven by the father. Upon returning home, he found a loving father, with open arms, ready to welcome him. So I am ready to forgive you and embrace you no matter what you have done. Forgiveness is an act of love, and I ask you to practice it, just as I forgive you daily. Each time you forgive, you free yourself, leave behind resentment and pain, and choose to live in peace. As Jesus said in Matthew 6:14-15, for if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. If you learn to forgive, you will feel an indescribable peace, and I will be with you, helping you to move forward. Let my love heal your wounds and allow peace to take the place of pain. My beloved sons and daughters, the time is now, and I call you to listen to my heart. Perhaps you feel you are carrying a burden too great, and there are days when the weight of struggles and worries prevents you from seeing the light. I know there are unanswered questions, anguishes that linger in silence, but I am here, and I want you to understand. My love is the answer. My embrace is the refuge you have been seeking, and my presence is the peace you have desired. I see when you try day after day to find strength, to find solutions, to solve problems with your own hands. But my dear ones, I ask that you lay aside this weight and trust in me. There is a promise of new life, of transformation, and I want you to understand that you are not alone on this journey. When you feel that everything around you is falling apart, I want you to know that I am sustaining you. Know that every tear that falls from your eyes I see. Every thought of worry that crosses your mind I hear. You are not invisible to me, and your pain does not go unnoticed. Just like a loving father, I watch over you. I desire to guide you, and deliver you from all oppression and anguish that haunts your heart. I extend my hand to you and ask, give me your worries. Lay before me all that troubles you, and let me show you a different path. When I tell you to act today, I do not speak lightly. I want you to understand the importance of choosing to live with purpose, of not leaving for tomorrow what can be done now, for time is precious, and every decision you make today echoes in eternity. Open your hearts, trust in me, and let me transform your lives. For my love is the foundation of the strength you so desire. Children, look at the faith you have in me, and allow it to grow. Faith is like a seed that needs to be cultivated. With every prayer, every moment you choose to trust in me, that seed blooms and transforms into a strong tree, capable of withstanding the strongest winds. Remember when Peter walked on water and in doubt began to sink, but when his eyes returned to me, he was sustained. So it is with you. Do not let fear and uncertainty drown your faith. Keep your eyes on me, and you will see that I am the firm support, the hand that never fails. And when everything seems confusing, I want you to remember the stories that your ancestors lived, the miracles I performed, the deliverance I brought to many who cried out to me. Think of Daniel, thrown into the lion's den but preserved by my power. He did not despair, for he trusted that I would deliver him, and so I did. The same I want to do for you, to take you out of the den of fear, despair, and doubt. Let yourselves be enveloped by this certainty. What I promise, I fulfill. For I am a God of promises, and every word that comes from my mouth is true and eternal. I want you to remember that my word is a lamp for your feet. It is light for the path, and in it you will find wisdom for every situation. Come closer, for I have promises for you, promises of peace, a future of hope and life. And now, my children, I speak of forgiveness. I know that many carry deep hurts, pains that seem insurmountable, feelings of bitterness and resentment. But children, when you do not forgive, it is as if you are chained to the past, stuck to what hurt you, unable to move forward to the new that I have for you. I want you to understand the power there is in forgiving, in releasing these burdens, and allowing peace to reign within you. Remember Jesus, who, when crucified, looked at those who hurt him and said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." If he, in the midst of pain, could forgive, I know you can too. Forgiveness brings liberation, and I want you to experience that freedom. It is not easy, I know, but I am here to help you, to give you the strength you need to release forgiveness and feel the peace it brings. If you still find it difficult, look at the love I give you daily. I forgive you always, even when you fall and make mistakes. My love for you has no limits, and it is this love that I want you to share with the world. Let forgiveness renew your spirit, remove the thorns from your soul, and let love flourish. For where there is love, there is healing, and where there is healing, there is hope to start anew. My beloved ones, never forget that all this I give you freely. There is no debt between us, for my desire is that you live in freedom and peace. My heart rejoices to see you prosper, to see you free from all unnecessary burdens. So come to me with an open heart. Come without fear, for I am ready to give you everything you need. And now, I want to talk to you about hope. In times of tribulation, when everything around seems to collapse, remember that there is always hope in me. No matter how dark the night may be, the dawn always comes, and with it, a new opportunity. Hope is the anchor that keeps you steady. It is the reminder that, even in silence, I am by your side, preparing the way, straightening the paths, and transforming what seemed impossible. I see every challenge you face, every obstacle that seems insurmountable. But I want you to believe that I am the God of the impossible. Where the world sees barriers, I see opportunities for miracles. Where pain seems to prevail, I am working to bring healing. Do not give up. Do not let discouragement paralyze you. For with faith, hope, and love, you can overcome everything this world puts before you. You have seen what I can do, what I have done for those who trust in me, and I will do the same for you, for you are mine, and my love is eternal. My children, keep listening. I know every sigh, every thought that crosses your minds, and I know the battles you face every day. There are moments when discouragement seems to drag you down, when the weight of worries takes over the heart and hope seems distant. But know this, even in the depths of your suffering, I am with you. I am here, caring, strengthening, and renewing your strength, even if you do not immediately perceive it. There is in me a love so deep that it can fill every void, heal every wound, and give meaning to what seems inexplicable. I want you to understand that when you trust in me, you are not just placing your faith in something uncertain, but in a living promise. Every word I say is true, and when I promise that I will be by your side in every challenge, it is because I truly am. There is not a single second when you are alone. The journey may be difficult, and the steps may seem heavy, but remember that I am the God who never abandons. Just as I was beside Joshua and instructed him to be strong and courageous, I am with you, encouraging you to stand firm. For there is something wonderful prepared for those who persevere. My beloved, I know the world tries to instill doubt, fear, and even the feeling that there may not be a purpose in all this. But I tell you, there is indeed a purpose, and it is great and deep. Every moment of pain, every challenge, every trial, everything is working for the good of those who love me and trust in me. Every tear that falls from your eyes, I collect, for to me, your feelings are precious. I see what you cannot see. I know what you do not yet know, and that is why I ask you to continue to trust in me. For the journey I began in you will not be interrupted. I want each of you, my sons and daughters, to look at your life and see how I have been present in every moment. When you were lost, I was the hand that guided you back. When you were without strength, I was the breath of life that renewed your spirit. When you felt that nothing made sense anymore, I was the voice that brought clarity. And so I will continue to be the God who is constant, who does not change, and who loves you with eternal love. There is also, my children, a promise of renewal for each of you. What the enemy tried to destroy, I am able to restore. Where there was loss, I can bring new life. In Isaiah 61:3, I promise to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. This is my desire for you, that you live in the fullness of peace and joy that only I can give. Allow me to enter your hearts and perform this work of healing, rebuilding, and transformation. Remember that even King David, in his most difficult moments, cried out to me, seeking strength when everything around him seemed to crumble. In his Psalms he wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." He trusted that I would guide him through the dark valleys and that I would bring him to a safe place. So is what I desire for you. I want to be the shepherd who cares for each of you, who leads you to still waters, who restores your souls. I know the valleys you go through, but I know there are mountains of victory ahead. Have courage and trust. Children, think about what I desire for your lives. I desire that you live with purpose, that you have peace in your hearts, that you be sources of love and hope for those around you. And for that, I ask you to draw near to me, to surrender every part of your lives, for there is extraordinary power in surrendering to my care. When you give me your worries, I relieve you. When you give me your pains, I comfort you. And when you give me your dreams, I fulfill them in a grand way. I am the God who knows what is best for you, who sees what is to come, and who desires to guide you to the best path. I want you to trust in me with unwavering faith, for those who wait on me will never be disappointed. Think of Abraham, who waited patiently for the promise of a son, even when it seemed impossible. He believed against all odds, and his faith was rewarded. I fulfilled the promise I made to him, and I will do the same for you. When you ask me with faith, with a sincere and trusting heart, I listen, and in my perfect time, I respond. My answer does not fail, and my love for you is unchanging. I know that many of you carry the weight of past mistakes, of decisions you might wish to undo. But my children, know this. When you seek me with sincere repentance, I am ready to forgive you. There is no sin, no mistake that my love cannot redeem. I purify you, transform you, and give you a new beginning. Leave the past behind and look forward, for I want to write a new story with you, just as I did with Saul, who persecuted my people and then became Paul, one of the greatest defenders of the faith. I can transform your lives, no matter how late you think it is. My beloved, hold on to the hope I give you, for it is like a firm anchor for the soul, especially when the winds of life try to sway you. This hope is alive, it is strong, and it is based on the certainty that I am faithful. If I promised that I would never abandon you, it is because it will be so. When you walk in hope, you live in peace, even amid struggles. Because you know that I am in control, that everything is in my hands, and that nothing escapes my watchful and loving eye. You are precious to me, each with your individuality, with your stories, with your dreams and challenges. And as a father cares for his children, so I care for you. Do not forget this, for when the world tries to convince you that you are alone, that there is no way out, I am by your side, sustaining you with my strong hand. Believe that there is a future for you, a future that I have prepared with care and love, where you will find everything you need. And now, I want you to feel my presence, to realize how close I am. I am just a prayer away, always ready to listen, always ready to respond. Do not hesitate to seek me, to share with me your joys and sorrows. I am a father who loves to hear the voice of his children, who rejoices in every victory and is compassionate in every sorrow. Beloved children, I want you to know that you are the purpose of my creation, the focus of my love, and the reason I have chosen to walk alongside each of you. You were created with intention and care, and from the beginning, I know you more than anyone else. Every detail of your life is before me, and nothing that happens is unknown to my eyes. Therefore, there is no reason to fear. When your heart is restless, when insecurity tries to dominate you, remember, I am here, firm and constant, being the safe haven that never fails. Sometimes you may question why you face challenges, why trials appear, and moments of pain. I know that in the midst of pain, it is difficult to see the purpose, but I assure you that there are deeper reasons that only I can see for every difficulty. I trust in you because I see the strength I have placed within each of you, a strength that is greater than you may recognize. Just as gold is purified by fire, you also go through refining processes which bring growth, understanding, and a peace that transcends human understanding. I did not create you to be driven by fear or paralyzed by doubt. My desire is that you be courageous and that, despite the obstacles, you walk toward the future I have prepared for you. When you feel you are at your limit, that you have no more strength, remember that I am the source of all energy and renewal. Just seek me, and I will fill you with vigor. Look at the birds of the sky. They do not worry about tomorrow, for they know that the Father takes care of each one of them. If I take care of the birds, how much more will I take care of you, my precious sons and daughters? I see every battle you face, even those you keep in silence, and I value every step you take toward hope. Even when you stumble, I do not give up on you. I am there to lift you up, for to me there is no mistake too great, nor fall that is final. In fact, every time you decide to get up and trust in me, I feel the pride of a father who observes the courage of his children. You are capable of much more than you imagine, and I want to walk with you to the highest places, those I have prepared for you to enjoy. Many of you carry scars in your hearts, wounds that may still be painful, but hear me. Where there is pain, there is also the possibility of healing and rebirth. I am the God who heals wounds, who comforts broken hearts, and who restores what has been destroyed. No matter how many times you have been hurt, for my healing power is infinitely greater. My desire is that you allow me to heal what still hurts, to restore the areas of your lives that have been shaken. Open yourselves to this process, my children, for there is a future of peace and joy waiting for you. Remember that each new morning brings with it a chance to start over. I created time so that you could have new beginnings. With each sunrise, I am renewing hope, restoring strength, and giving new opportunities. You are not defined by the past. The marks of what you have lived can turn into testimonies of victory and resilience. When you look at what you have faced, I want you to see how I sustained you at every moment and how I will be with you until the end. I have great dreams for you, and what I have planned is good. Just as the gardener cultivates each plant with care, pruning, watering, and nurturing, I am working in your lives. Some prunings may seem painful, but they are necessary for you to bloom, to reach fullness. Trust me during the process, for in the end, you will see the beautiful garden I am cultivating in each heart. I know what is best for you, and if you trust, you will allow me to bring out the best in you. I also want to talk about the promises I made. I am faithful, and what I promise, I fulfill. I know that sometimes you may think my promises are taking too long, that the days seem long and hope is wearing thin. But remember Abraham, who waited years to see the fulfillment of the promise I made. He believed against all hope, and his faith was rewarded. So it will be with you. My promises are certain, and at the right time, you will see what you have been waiting for. I take care of every detail and prepare everything at the perfect time so that the joy is complete. My children, you do not need to understand everything. Many times, the path will not be clear, and the plans may seem confusing. But even so, I ask you to keep walking, for I am paving the way, even if you do not see it. Do not let doubt overshadow your faith. As the prophet Isaiah wrote, I am the Lord. Those who trust in me will not be forsaken. This promise is for you. I will never leave you alone. I also want you to know that, amid struggles, you have a greater purpose. Each experience, each lesson you receive is part of the plan I have for you. You are called to be light in this world, to bring hope and love to those around you. Do not underestimate the impact you have. A heart full of faith and love is capable of transforming lives, and I empower you for this. In every act of kindness, in every word of encouragement, you are spreading my light. This is the calling of each of you, to live in love, being reflections of my care and compassion. And when you feel that your strength is exhausted, that the journey becomes arduous, remember, I am here, waiting for you. Just call my name, and I will listen. Just extend your hands in prayer, and I will take them. I am the Father who never moves away, who is always willing to listen, and who always welcomes. You are my children, loved and precious, and nothing will change that. My dear ones, do not forget that life is a journey. There will be highs and lows, but I will be the constant in every season. Keep firm, for there is a reward for those who persevere. And at the end of each battle you will find in me the rest you so long for. You are not alone. I accompany you, today and always, until all the purpose I have planned is fulfilled. My sons and daughters, there is something deep and precious that I want you to understand. I am always here, observing every movement of your heart, every thought that arises in your minds, every dream that carries your hope. I want you to know that I have called you to live a life of abundance, a life that goes beyond what you can imagine. When I tell you that there are wonderful promises waiting for you, I do not say this just to comfort you, but to prepare you for all that is to come. This is the path I have laid out for you, a road paved by my love, and the opportunities I have created especially for each of you. Every morning that dawns is an invitation to live intensely, to enjoy the gift of life, and to choose to walk by my side. I am always with you, sustaining you, giving you the strength to face each challenge. I know that many times you may feel tired, overwhelmed, and that the weight of worries seems too much to bear. But I want you to trust, for when you hand your struggles over to me, I take care of every detail and am capable of performing miracles. of transforming your afflictions into victory and your difficulties into steps towards something greater. The future I have prepared for you is one of peace and hope. I am the God who fulfills his promises, and every word that comes from my mouth is true. I want you to believe that even though the waiting time seems long, my answer always comes. When trials become intense, remember the words I spoke in Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. These words are for you. Believe that in me you will find the strength to carry on, even when it seems impossible. I await that each of you, my children, choose to trust in my promises with a sincere heart, knowing that I am in control of everything, that I know the end from the beginning, and that each step is part of the path I have designed for you. I want you to look at the life of Joseph, who faced betrayal, injustice, and forgetfulness. But despite everything, he never stopped believing that I had a purpose for him. And at the end of his journey, he saw the fulfillment of my promises and experienced the victory he had long awaited. So it will be with you. Even if circumstances seem difficult now, I am working to transform all things for the good of those who love me and are called according to my purpose. When I created you, I placed within each of you an inner strength that is greater than the difficulties of the world. This strength comes from me. It is the reflection of my power in you. Therefore, do not let fear or doubt steal your courage. Remember that just as I was with Moses when I called him to free my people, I am with you. I know that, like him, many of you may feel insecure, feel small in the face of the tasks ahead. But I want you to know that just as I promised Moses, I am with you every step of the way, leading you with the same faithfulness. My children, choose faith every day. Faith is the fuel that will take you beyond human limitations, that will allow you to see with the eyes of the Spirit, not with the eyes of the world. You are called to live by faith, not by sight. For faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. I want this certainty to guide you, to be like a lamp that illuminates every step you take. Even if circumstances seem to contradict the promise, even if the winds rise, choose to remain firm, for in the end, what I promised will be fulfilled. And do not forget that love is at the center of everything I do. Every day I ask you to love one another, for love is the greatest commandment. When you love, you reflect my heart, and it is in this love that you will find purpose and meaning for every act, for every word, for every choice. Look at the example of Jesus, who out of love gave himself, who out of love forgave you, and who out of love brought reconciliation. I want you to understand that love is not just a feeling, but a transforming force, capable of healing wounds, restoring bonds, and bringing peace to hearts. When you choose to love, you are building something eternal, something that goes beyond this life, for love never fails. May every word that comes from your mouth be full of compassion. May every act be a reflection of this love. And when you love, you will be loving me. For when you do this to one of my little ones, you do it to me. I want your life to be a living testimony of my love, that others see in you the reflection of my heart and feel the desire to draw near to me. Remember that in every challenge, in every smile, and in every tear, I am present. There is not a moment when you are outside my presence. I am the God who never sleeps, who never is absent, and who carefully observes every detail of your lives. When you seek me in prayer, I listen to you. When you call me sincerely, I respond. My will is for you to live a full life, an abundant life, where peace and joy are constants, even amid tribulations. And if someday the weariness seems too much, if the strength seems to run out, remember that I am your rest. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. There is in me a peace that the world does not know, a peace that can calm the most intense storm. When you hand your worries over to me, when you choose to rest in my arms, this peace takes over your heart, and fear finds no place to remain. So, my beloved, do not give up. I am with you. I have always been and always will be. Walk with courage, with faith, and with love, knowing that each step brings you closer to the purpose I have for your lives. And at the end of each day, know that I am waiting for you, ready to hear your prayers, to welcome your thoughts, and to renew your strength. The journey continues, and in every moment I am with you, leading you to the place I have prepared, to the peace I have promised, and to the future that only I can offer. My beloved sons and daughters, I know that many of you carry in your hearts a weight difficult to bear, an anxiety that often invades your spirit and steals the peace you so desire. But today I want you to remember, I am the source of that peace you seek. Even when the world around seems to crumble, even when insecurity tries to fill the heart, I am by your side, offering the peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that no situation can take away. This peace does not depend on circumstances. It is not shaken by the winds of life, for it is anchored in my eternal love. I call you to trust in me with all your heart, without reservations, without fear of exposing the wounds and doubts you carry. You do not need to hide anything, for I know every part of your hearts. Even in moments of doubt, I remain with you, ready to hold your hands and remind you that you do not need to walk alone. Just as I was beside the disciples in the midst of the storm, calming the sea and the wind, I am now beside you, ready to calm every unrest. Just trust in me, and see how I can transform what seems impossible into victory. I know that many of you have dreams, desires, and plans, and that at times it seems that the promises you long for are still distant. But, my children, waiting is part of the process, and in it, I am shaping the character of each of you, strengthening your faith, and teaching you to depend entirely on me. Everything I prepare for you is in the right time, and I want you to know that nothing I promise fails. The waiting time is not a wasted time. It is a time of building, of strengthening, a time in which I make you capable of receiving all that I have prepared. When you wait patiently, when you trust even without seeing, your faith becomes like a tree with deep roots. And this faith will be what sustains you in all seasons of life. Think of how Joseph had to wait, how he was faithful even in adversity, how he never stopped believing that I had a greater plan. When the time of his victory came, he was ready, prepared to live the promises I made. So it is with each of you. There is an exact time for everything, and at the right moment, the doors that seem closed will open before your eyes. My children, I know that the journey is not always easy, that the weight of responsibilities and worries can become great. But I want you to understand that I did not create you to carry everything alone. Every worry that consumes your thoughts, every fear that tries to paralyze you, I invite you to give to me. I am the safe refuge, the rock where you can rest. I do not want you to live oppressed, overwhelmed by the things of this world. Instead, I desire that you enjoy the lightness of a life in my presence, a life where you find rest and renewal. When you feel lost, remember that I am the shepherd who guides each of you. Even if you stray, if you get lost amid distractions, I am always ready to bring you back to the path, to guide you with love and patience. Just as I leave the 99 sheep to seek the one that is lost, I do the same for each of you. No matter how far you have gone, my love is capable of reaching you, of restoring you, of bringing back purpose and hope. I want you to see your lives as a journey by my side, where every step is important, where every moment brings learning and growth. There is no situation, no matter how complicated it seems, where I cannot act. And even if circumstances try to convince you that you are alone, I am always by your side, ready to strengthen, sustain, and restore. Let your hearts find rest in me. Allow trust to take the place of fear, and watch how everything around begins to take on a new meaning. I invite you to live a life of hope, a hope that is not based on what you see, but on what I promised. This hope is the fuel that drives you. It is what makes you believe that, regardless of circumstances, there is something greater waiting for you. And I want you to know that every time you choose to have hope, that you choose to believe, This decision does not go unnoticed by my eyes. I see every step of faith, every word of prayer, every act of kindness, and I rejoice to see that you have not given up. And even when everything seems contrary, I want you to remember that I am working on every detail. Just as the farmer plants the seed and waits patiently for the time of harvest, there is a right time for everything in your lives. Every promise I made is being carefully prepared, and when the moment comes, the fruit will be sweeter than you ever imagined. You are like trees planted by streams of water, and your leaves will never wither. Do not worry about what is to come. I am with you and have plans of peace and prosperity. My children, I want you to remain firm, to walk with your heart turned to me, for only then will you find true happiness. And do not forget that the love I have for you is unchanging. Nothing can separate you from this love, not mistakes, not fears, not the past. Each of you is unique to me, and I am constantly taking care of every detail of your lives. This is the moment to trust, to surrender, to rest in my care. There is nothing I cannot do, nothing beyond my reach. So continue, without fear, without hesitation, for I am by your side at all times. And when you find yourselves in silence, when everything around seems still, know that I am working, preparing the best, and soon you will see what I have already prepared. My sons and daughters, remember that I formed you with purpose and intentionality. Every detail of your existence, every step you have taken, every experience you have lived, is under my careful and loving care. You are not an accident, nor are you alone in your journeys. From the moment I created you, I planted in your hearts a seed of eternal value, a divine essence that makes you unique and precious in my eyes. And even if you face doubts, even if you feel the weight of expectations and difficulties, know that everything you face has a greater meaning than you can see now. My presence accompanies you in every breath, in every new day. I am attentive to everything that worries you, to everything that makes you question, and to everything that sometimes seems unsolvable. I am the God who sees the invisible, who knows what is hidden, and I know the dreams you have, the desires you hold with such care. These dreams were not placed there by chance. Many of them are inspirations from me, paths I prepare for them to be realized at the right time. Trust that, as you seek me with all your heart, I will show you the next step, and with each step further, I will be by your side, guiding and strengthening you. I know the wait can be painful, that the answers sometimes take longer than the heart can bear. But believe me, the waiting time is a time of shaping, of growth, and preparation. Like clay in the hands of the potter, I am molding you, removing the rough edges, strengthening what is fragile, so that you are stronger and more confident. Do not think you are being ignored or that your prayers are not heard. On the contrary, I am closer to you than you can imagine, attentive to every word that comes from your mouths and every thought that fills your minds. Remember that every morning brings with it a new beginning, a chance to leave behind the weight of yesterday and embrace what is new, what is fresh and full of life. You are not defined by your failures, but by the love I have for each of you. My love does not waver. It does not depend on circumstances or your imperfections. It is I who sustains you, and as a loving father, I wish for you to experience a full life, filled with grace and renewal. Believe that, by handing everything over to my hands, I am taking care of the smallest details, even those that seem insignificant to you. I want you to trust in me, even when you cannot see beyond the obstacles that arise on the path. Remember that I am the one who opens seas, who brings down walls, who transforms the impossible into reality. When the storms of life threaten to take away your peace, I am beside you, offering a safe haven, a place of peace that is not shaken by winds or storms. Do not let fear take hold. Instead, hand me your worries and see how I can transform what seems lost into something wonderful. There are so many things I wish to accomplish in your lives, so many doors I want to open and paths I'm preparing. But everything has its time, Everything follows the plan I have written for you. You are like trees that need to grow before bearing fruit, and each season in your lives is important. When the time to bloom comes, you will see the beauty of what I have planted, of what I have cultivated, and you will understand why each stage was necessary. Do not rush. Allow my time to be fulfilled, for at the right time, everything will be perfect. I know that many of you carry memories of a past that still hurts, wounds that seem not to heal, but I am here to remind you that I am the God of healing. Nothing is so deep that my love cannot reach and restore. I want to heal your memories, free you from what still binds you to what is past, and give you the freedom to live the present without the shadows of yesterday. Just as I healed and freed so many throughout time, I can do the same for you. Trust in my healing touch. Let me cleanse the wounds, and let a new chapter open, without the shackles of what has been. And even when the path seems arduous, I want you to remember that you were called to live with joy. The joy I give does not depend on the circumstances around you. It is a source that springs from my heart, and that remains, even in times of difficulty. You can experience this joy, a joy that transcends afflictions, for it is based on solid trust in me. This joy is a fruit that grows when you place me first, when you choose to trust in me in all things, knowing that I am working in every detail. My children, you have in your hands the ability to influence the lives around you, to spread light amid darkness. When you decide to walk by my side, you become reflections of my love, agents of peace and hope. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every moment when you show compassion, brings a little more of my presence to the world. You are my hands and my feet, sent to transform, to heal, and to love. Do not underestimate the impact you can have. In every act of love I am present, making my light shine where there is darkness. I invite you to look at life with a new perspective, to see beyond the visible, to trust in the invisible, for I am in everything. Every morning, when the sun rises, I am renewing your strength, preparing the way for another day of purpose. Do not let difficulties prevent you from seeing the beauty of the journey. I am here to guide, to support, and to reveal great things that are yet to come. Children, move forward with courage. I am by your side in every step, in every moment. Do not give up, for there is something precious waiting for you, something that surpasses any expectation. Stand firm, walk in my peace, and remember that the love I have for each of you will never fail, never cease, never move away. The best is yet to come, and I will be by your side at every moment, guiding, loving, and taking care of everything, just like a father who loves deeply. My children, I know that each of you faces internal battles that perhaps no one else knows. There are moments when doubts seem louder than the voice of hope, and fears become barriers that prevent you from moving forward. But I am here to remind you that these barriers are not the end. No struggle you face is greater than my strength in you. I want you to know that in every difficulty there is an opportunity for you to draw closer to me, to discover a strength you may not have yet experienced. I am always by your side, even when everything seems silent, even when the path becomes narrow and difficult. I know there are issues you carry in silence, pains you think you cannot share with anyone. But you do not need to carry these weights alone. I am the God who sees every detail, who understands the deepest anguishes, and who is willing to listen to what you may not be able to express in words. Even when the voice fails and tears speak for themselves, I understand and embrace every feeling. Come to me with confidence, for my heart is open to hear and console. You do not need perfect words, just a sincere heart. I am the safe refuge for each of you. Remember that nothing you face is wasted. Every experience, every challenge, every moment of overcoming becomes a foundation on which I build something new and precious in you. Just as an artisan shapes every detail of his work with patience and precision, I am shaping your lives with purpose and love. Every experience contributes to the larger picture I am drawing, and in every brushstroke, there is beauty, even when the moment seems dark. If you trust in me, You will allow me to continue working, to continue guiding the process until the work is complete. Remember that what I do is perfect, and the time I use is the best. I also want you to remember that love is the key to everything. Love is what connects you to me and to each other. It is the force that transforms lives, that heals hearts, and that builds bridges where there were once walls. I ask you to choose to love, to choose to forgive, to choose to reach out to others. The world tries to teach the opposite, trying to harden hearts, but I ask you to choose the path of love. Just as I loved you, regardless of your failures, I ask you to love, without expecting anything in return, for it is in love that you find peace and purpose. You are called to be light, to reflect my presence wherever you are. After hearing this inspiring message from God, subscribe to the channel to help spread this word of faith and hope to more people who also need comfort and direction in their lives. Leave a like if this message touched your heart. Share it with someone who needs to hear these words, and write in the comments a phrase or Bible verse as an act of faith, declaring that you believe God is acting in your family and renewing your strength. Remember God's words, "Beloved children, with each day that dawns, I am with you, renewing your strength and inviting you to walk closer to me." I know that sometimes the challenges seem as high as mountains, but I want you to remember that no obstacle is too great for us to overcome together. I call you to trust in me fully, without reservations. There is no need for doubts or fears, for I am the God who holds your hands and leads you on safe paths. You were made to win, to prosper, and to experience the peace that goes beyond what this world can offer. And do not stop here. There are 2 more messages that can bring even more peace and harmony to your life. Click on the videos above and continue to fill yourself with hope and faith. May God bless your life abundantly.